Hello and welcome to our beautiful Loren Waite and our event Sacred Rage. Hello, Lauren.
No, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming. So I'll just
Thanks for
introduce myself.
arranging as well, because that was
Yeah.
last minute. But we're here,
that's,
it matters.
that's right. That's right. It all happens in divine timing. Um, so I'll just introduce myself quickly if anyone hasn't heard of me. My name's Jodie Parry. I run Jodie Parry Intuitive. And I do a lot of work with energy and frequency on all levels, in all types, and for all different types of people. So I also run a group called Journey Back to You, which is my vision is to allow different people from different modalities, learnings and teachings to come on and share what they know and what they do so that in the world of healing, more people can be exposed to different ways that they may be able to continue on their healing journey and basically their life within. So, yes, thank you and welcome for watching this replay. And I'll introduce you now to Lauren, beautiful Lauren, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
I am Loren. um, so I've been on this little journey of mine into, I guess, the spiritual world for the last couple of years, or even 3 years actually. And yeah, I've been guided to Sacred Rage. It just sort of semi landed in my lap, and it's not till recently that I sort of realized how it's really played into my own life and shaped who I'm becoming. I also am super drawn to astrology, and astrology was sort of like my gate into this world. I guess that was where my curiosity started. And so I love divining with the planets and celestial objects, and something that's just going to be a forever education to myself, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing you can really master, I believe, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so energy takes a part as well in my work around using Reiki and just like vibration as well.
Mm-hmm.
I use sound healing as well in my practices, and am very much drawn to music. So yeah, but we're here to talk about rage. So getting back to that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you want
Um,
me to talk about my I guess how I fell into
yeah, give us a little bit of
rage?
a, if you're comfortable, give us a bit of a backstory about why this is important to you and why, I guess, how it landed in your lap and what it
Mm.
connected with in you.
Yeah, so I started off, I just saw this, you may have heard of her in this space. She's an American witch called Mia Magic, and she's on YouTube. But I saw her doing this rage ritual with this YouTuber called Sky Life. And I was like, man, that's something I think I could get in on. Like, I want to do that with people. And I think that's something that I'm still trying to grow, is like a community
Mm-hmm.
based around a lot of things that I do. So that's sort of where the idea sort of got planted. And then I started having these conversations, particularly with mums. Being a new mum, that's sort of who I was connecting with at the time. My son would have been just a year when this sort of started popping up a bit more, maybe even 18 months. So I was talking with like mums about like how, yeah, you just get that sort of rage around not having space to yourself, or like almost like, I guess it's kind of like a almost resentment, like for having like that lack of time, and how do you help your child and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people kept popping up with like, yeah, I could do a rage ritual too, but no one that was sort of like, yeah, let's, how are we going to plan this? I then started growing connections through Instagram and met this beautiful friend. Her name's Blessed by Ari is her business on Instagram. So go check her out. She does birth mother blessings. She collabed with me, and she sort of helped me how to look, shape it, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Um, And so we did a couple together, and then it wasn't until about May this year she decided she needed to pull back and focus on her own business. And I took it on full just for myself. And that's really the push that I needed to do it. And that sort of opened up this whole, well, how do I see it? How do I see Sacred Rage for me? So that's the long story. Looking back over the last 3 years and how where my rage comes from is around the medical system. I was born with a cardiology, a heart condition, a congenital heart condition. So I've gone through a life of you're not right. There's something wrong with you. And also my voice was damaged in the process of one of the interventions I had. So again, something's not right with you, and it's something that you're met with straight away when you meet a person is their voice. So it's a big thing to sort of like live through, I guess, which I'm sort of realizing, looking back and reflecting on. And then after having my son, 3 months after, I actually had a heart attack in hospital, and it took me 3 visits to the emergency to finally I got admitted the first time. The third time I got admitted again, and they actually took me seriously. And then ended up having that heart attack in hospital. And the whole idea was, well, at least you're in the right place. So it happened in the first place.
So
it's really reframed my mind around the fact that I know my body better than others, and I have had my own authority over my own body sort of not honored or even taught to me how to honor it, really, in the long run. So when I came out of the hospital after having a heart attack, I had a lot of medications, and I found that quite overwhelming. And pretty much as soon as possible, I just sort of thought, I don't want to be on these forever. It doesn't feel right to me. I'm too young. I was 31, 32 at the time. Can't remember. And yeah, I guess from a family of like very scientifically backed parents, which there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Stan, that's their programming. It was like, well, you came here for the doctor's opinion, so you should listen to the doctor. But no, I just kept questioning, and it was finally this year in April that they said, okay, yeah, you can come off these things, not with a lot of pushing prior to that. But you need to gradually. So I've come off all of them except for one thing, which is just blood thinners, and I took that as a major win, and walked out of the cardiologist and saw the like very medically based cardiologist, and was sort of like in my mind. But yeah, no. So yeah, went back in August. So that was 4 months after pulling myself off them, and they were just blown away. They're like, it looks the same. So yeah, my rage comes from just not being able to take authority over your own choices, and not being honored by the others around you.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I think I actually, for those of you listening, attended a Sacred Rage workshop at the Wild Village Festival that Loren held. And it was actually her story that connected me so much, because it's very similar about how I felt with the whole journey with my thyroid, that it all happened so fast, and you just get told, it's not asked. And, when I had the experience of saying no to radiation, then, I wasn't even listened to until I yelled. So I completely relate. And it's not often, I think, that the people in these positions have anyone come up against them. It's just, wait, you do what I say. And there's just no question. But the beauty in, I guess the vision that I've got and in yourself as well, that the more we get it out there that we do have a choice and we should ask questions and we should listen to our body and we should, really tap into ourselves and our own intuition to see what's really going on and how we really feel about the situation.
I think you just made me think of one moment in my pregnancy story, funnily enough. Because obviously there's more people sort of waking up to these notions of questioning.
Yeah.
I do believe that people that are in those medical professions are going to be going through that too. And you just made me think of my midwife, who we had to wait to go up to the operating theatre to have my epidural, because in case something went wrong, you needed to be in the operating theatre, for my own body safety. And the anesthesia, what are they called?
Anaesthetist?
Yeah, anaesthetist.
Yeah.
That's the one. She sort of said, "Oh, we're only going to give her half the dose, though, a button press of the numbing medication." And the midwife questioned it for me. She's like, "We've never done that for anyone else, so why are we doing it now?"
Yeah.
So we have to go and do reroute the code and everything. So I was super obviously I was not there at the time, but now so grateful that that was questioned, and I don't think she followed through on it. She just was like, "Screw it, have the right amount."
Yeah.
You're gonna be here half an hour,
Yeah.
in pain. So.
That's funny. I actually heard somebody doing a talk the other day. Was it in the book that I was reading? Yes, it was in the book, which I'm meaning to do a live about on its own, and it's called Influence. And one of the ones is how we are actually programmed from children to see people that dress a certain way as a certain authority figure. And doctors was one of them. And then they actually put in the book the amount of mistakes that occur within the hospital system just from doctors giving the wrong advice or whatever, and the nurses seeing them as this authority and not even questioning it. And it's interesting because I know a couple of nurses who do that very thing, who say, "Hang on a minute,
Yeah.
what are you doing?" And it's great how they're starting to really come out and speak up. Yeah.
Oh, you triggered your thought there. Now it's gone.
Oh. The influence about how people dress, I think, is that.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I find with astrology, so Saturn is sort of that planet of of authority. It's like the it's strict dad of the zodiac planets.
Yeah.
And mine, I feel like mine is sort of is towards doctors, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's that's what I've always felt, at least. And it's, for me, it's right with my Uranus, I think it is, which is unpredictability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense in the stars then.
Yeah, for me it does. Unpredictable authority, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So do we want to go through a little process, or what have you got planned today?
Oh gosh. So when I work with Rach, my belief around it is that it's not something that needs to be released and removed. I believe that it's something that we can actually harness for the better, and the way it's depicted in our 3D world is just something that's very physical and negative. But I think it's an important emotion to have because it does bring clarity to our deep beliefs and values. So whether that's just as simple as I love myself more than this,
Yeah, big one.
or that's injustice
Mm.
on that person, so that makes me feel this way. Yeah, so I don't believe it's saying we need to move. It's actually saying what we should reach for. Yeah, to almost like find our authentic self in a way.
Mhm.
So
So
I guess in terms of working with it in a practice, I have listened to a lot of things around not using like the physical for release. But I do think that the physical notion of like actually hitting and punching and all that kind of thing almost needs to be used in our day and age because we are so disconnected from it. We're so forced to be disconnected from it. So using those physical expressions as a way to actually bring up the feeling so
yes.
we can actually know what it feels like
Yeah.
and then actually sit with it. So I think next time you feel a challenge or in your rage, I'd say that's what I would do. Like really go and punch a pillow, scream, get a stick, hit something, bring it up so you can actually feel it and sit with it, and then just ask why you're here.
Yeah.
Because you want to just get down to the root of why it's there, what it wants you to know, yeah, what it needs from you.
Yeah.
Just be standing up for yourself.
That's
That's,
so wonderful. Yeah. And it's so interesting, and I love that, you're expressing it from this angle because yeah, a lot of people and a lot of what we're taught, as children, like you don't do these things, and you don't do, you might go to boxing or whatever, but it's pretty frowned upon to do. I don't know what termed is like physically violent, I suppose. It's kind of in that category, isn't it? Which makes it feel a little bit wrong and scary. And but ultimately, what's the difference between that and going for a run? Like it's exerting, it's allowing the energy to come out, isn't it?
and you
Yeah.
could definitely like feel your anger through running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean anything that's kind of physical and just drawing it up.
Mm.
Um, I think the important thing is not to be reactive within that rage.
Yes.
It's about feeling it and then being able to come from a vibration of how you want it said.
Mm.
This feeling of rage behind it, not so much a spew of like anger, for lack of a better term, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah, I think just challenge yourself with that. But I think the biggest thing is just keep asking why.
Mm.
There's always a root reason for everything.
Yeah.
And it's
And
often
so,
just other things.
yeah. And so, okay, so say because I work a lot with, triggers, and I say our triggers are our treasures, basically, because it's pointing something out in you that wants to be seen. And
Yeah,
so basically it's just the same thing in a different way. It's like when, oh, that person annoyed me. Well, what exactly annoyed you?
yeah.
Where did that come from? And that's the why that we ask, not why the person did it. Why did it annoy me? Yeah. And then
I think
concluding.
as women as well, like I hear a lot of women say, I'm still an angry person.
Hmm.
It's because as women, right, we are we are safe to cry. And so our rage and our anger
Yeah.
often manifest as tears. Whereas men, it's the opposite.
Hmm.
They're okay with being, they're allowed to be,
Well, they're supposed to be, aren't they? Yeah.
yes, supposed to be loud and physical, and but that's often masking their sadness.
That's right.
So it's just these polarities of what's been taught to us.
Yeah.
So I think even next time you're crying, just check, are you actually sad?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's beautiful. I mean, would you suggest also like writing a letter to your anger? That just sort of came into my head. Or your
Maybe
rage?
you bring, I think specifically when you're working maybe with someone that is triggering your anger, you could definitely write like a fuck you letter.
Mm.
Let it bad.
Love it. I love it how you're like about the actual anger part. I'm like about the like why is it there? I don't know. It's the same but different, isn't it? That's why I love all these
With
different
the
things.
like with the rage for a person, it's more like you're wanting to hear something back that you're not getting.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah.
it's just an apology. I mean, not that you necessarily need that
Yeah.
apology from one, but writing it like you treated me this way, da 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 da. And then you can even do the polarity back of like, dear Loren, I'm
Yeah.
sorry
Yeah.
that I treated you.
That's
So
right.
you're getting like the words
Your
as
own
well.
apology.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really powerful. When you bring that up, I just had like family stuff sort of like not personally, but you know, if you were having difficulty within your family, I actually think energetically that would be a really powerful thing to do, to write whoever it is a letter, but then also respond. And I mean, as much as we're all connected, we're also trying to work out our individual stuff. And if we, you know how they say forgiveness is the best way, it's not so much forgiving a person, but forgiving yourself for the person being that way. It's just like, you know, resolve your own issue and let them just have theirs, because it's just otherwise you're just going to be trying to change everyone, and you know we can't do that. It's just not
And
possible.
that's when you've got to do like the, I guess, the ancestral kind of look at it.
That's when our energy work comes in.
Yeah. Um, I guess when it comes like, because obviously we can be angry at ourselves.
Mm.
I don't know, choices or things we've done to others. Maybe the way we've expressed our anger wasn't the right way to do
Yeah.
it. Um, and like a letter form of working with that is actually just writing to love.
Yeah.
So explaining to love, I'm really like ashamed that I've done this, and this is why I'm feeling this anger and resentment around whatever. But then doing it back like you've got this answer from love, because love always shows up as just like it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you're totally like within your
Yeah,
right.
that's right. That's what I sort of see is the difference of your intuition. When people say, but I don't know if it's my intuition. Well, your intuition and your higher self and your soul is always just going to love you,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah. So you can even just write it as like your higher self or whatever you connect with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for like something that you've done, that's a really nice space to come from in a letter format at least.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really beautiful. All right. Cool. Was there anything else we want to go through?
Nothing I can think of. I don't know if you had any other questions.
So we've got a few tips there. I think the most important part is just embracing the feelings, embracing what we're feeling, no matter what we're feeling or who it's directed towards. And
Creating
really,
the connection again.
sorry.
Creating that connection.
Yes. Yeah. Instead of, and see, this is how I view with illness as well. When something's happening with the body, we tend to go, oh, it's bad, and try to push it away, try to fix it. And that's fine, but I see it as the body also trying to communicate with us. It's just like our emotions. And so sitting with it and going, I'm allowing you to complete this cycle. I'm allowing you to be where you're at. I'm allowing you to show me and tell me, and for me to give you what you need, which is very similar to the, you know, just allowing that rage cycle to complete itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really see it as like a completion, and then it's, you know, there's no need for it to keep coming up because just
I
keep.
mean, it probably will to see if that trigger's still there, right?
Well, that's right. It will until it doesn't need to anymore. Yeah, yeah, it's really. Oh, well, thank you so much, Loren. Have you got anything coming up recently that soon that you want to let anyone know about?
So I'm doing an ecstatic dance on the 17th of November. We've also got a new moon circle as well in November. I can't remember the date. But yeah, you can come and find me on Instagram. My handle is soul.wandering underscore. Or just look up my name, one or the other. And then you and me were planning on maybe doing a little something together.
Yeah. Yes, so watch this space basically. Loren and I are going to put our powers combined, and we have so much in this, I guess you can say, in this birthing stage that's really we're allowing to open up and come through for something really, really exciting in the future. So we will definitely let you know about that. Probably early next year.
Yeah, we can sort of hint that it's going to be around, I guess, loving yourself and accepting all the parts of you.
Yeah.
No other words you would have to describe what we're sort of thinking, Jodie?
Without giving too much away, it's kind of like I really just hear that completion part. So it's a real finding the I don't know. It's like just finding the acceptance and the love of what is and what has been and what is, coming as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like a releasing of judgment.
Yeah. Past, present, and future.
Yeah, yeah.
All of the things.
When we release a little bit more about it, there will be a wait list. If you're interested, you can click the link and pop your details in there, and we can let you know, I guess, dates and all that kind of thing.
Keep you updated, yeah.
If you're interested, so keep an eye on Jodie's Facebook space.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, I'll just let everyone know that our next live is in 2 weeks. I think it's the 8th of November, and it's going to be with the beautiful Tracy, and she's going to lead us through an introduction for Ayurveda. So that's going to be really, really cool. We've got some awesome stuff coming up. So thank you so much. Always please comment. I'm actually going to put this video on YouTube too, so I'll put the link in the comments. So if you'd like to subscribe or share with any of your friends that think that they might be interested, you can do that through the YouTube link. And of course, thank you, beautiful Loren, for coming along today. And
thank you for having me. Thank you for being here to listen and learn more about your age.
Yes, always. I'm up for anything. All right, beautiful. Thank you so much. I will talk to you soon.
Thanks. Bye.